Hi guys, it's been such a long time. It's been a very, very long time. Welcome to Army Tea Time. Today the tea is hot, so be ready for that. There's only two of you here right now, but that's fine because I appreciate whoever is here, and we are going to talk about some very important issues. Hi. Okay, let's wait a bit and see who else comes. But even if nobody does, it's fine because I know this was pretty last minute. But I did a lot of reading last night, some research. I've got a whole bunch of notes for accuracy, and yeah, I'm excited to start this weekly series where we will talk about either good armies or bad armies every week. I've also got a lot of personal stories about nasty armies that I've met through the years. So we're going to be talking about that. Okay, so let's get started. Oh my god, scammers. Okay, let's get started. First topic that we are going to talk about. So today you guys already know from the title that we're going to be talking about Sasaeng fans. Sasaeng is a Korean word for um, obsessive, like stalkerish type person. So yeah, BTS has had quite a few of those over the years, and we all know. Oh hi, yeah. So we all know that BTS has had their fair share of Sasaeng fans over the years. I don't know why they include the word fans together with the Sasaeng word. We're just gonna call them Sasaengs. And let me put my hair up. Ugh, I didn't do my eyebrows. I basically didn't do anything to my face, but that's fine. You guys are not gonna judge me, are you? Maybe. Okay, let's get straight to the tea. I've got a whole bunch of things that we can talk about. Um, the first thing that I wanted to talk about was something that came up recently on Instagram. Was Namjoon was posting pictures of like from his balcony, right? And you could totally see outside his balcony like what the buildings were, and they were pretty like very recognizable buildings. And I was telling someone, I was like, Namjoon should be careful uh, about posting pictures from his balcony view because then people can easily recognize where he is. But then again, he's staying in a building that's well protected, so it could be fine. He has the freedom to post views from his balcony and let his building be recognized and stuff like that. But there was one time in 2016, 16, yeah, 2016, Namjoon was now this was not one of the Kim Daily videos that he made on purpose. Normally, Kim Daily videos, he's standing on purpose outside a building and just standing against the wall or something. But in this video, not video, in this picture, let me show you the picture. I have the picture. Let me just roll away and get it. No, I can't. Hang on. Forgot to take my phone. Okay, in this picture, you can see him in front of the building. Okay, I'll give you an example of pictures where he stands in front of buildings like this. Okay, but this is not the picture. Now, when he stands in front of a building like this, if you are not familiar with Korea or Korean addresses, you'll notice the building has an address. This is oh, thank you, Van plush. There's a whole bunch of plushies at the back. there are addresses on the building, and you can clearly like read what they are. You can't see what this one right is. It says 도산대로 45길, 45th Street, 45, yeah, 45th Street in 도산대로. So when he poses like that, there's an address, there's a building address that you can look at. And there was one time he was in front of the dorm where they lived back in 2016. He posted like sometime in the middle of the year, and I don't know if they had already planned to move away from the dorm, or they moved to a different dorm because people were stalking them. But anyway, sometime in the middle of there goes my light. Sometime in the middle of 2016, he posted this selfie. I don't know if you can recognize it. You probably can. Come on. How do I make this? You guys could see the picture clearly just now. Stupid light didn't give me problems yesterday, but it's giving me problems like right now for some reason. Technical difficulties. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Okay, so do you recognize this? Selfie? Yeah. This selfie was outside their 2016 dorm. When I saw it, I was horrified because I was like, what is he doing? And why is he posting that? I specifically said to a friend, I texted a friend, I was like, why did Namjoon post the picture like that? The address of their dorm is right there. And you can see it. It says, if you zoom into the number on the side of the building, little words at the top with the number 29. So building 29, 도산대로 24길, 24th Street. And so I was like, anyone can find them. Why did he post this? And then a couple of months later, the Big Hit posted an announcement on the fan cafe. We don't have the fan cafe anymore. It is like done and deleted. Like nobody goes to the fan cafe anymore because we have Weverse now. But back then, the fan cafe was like a very exclusive place, right? So Sasaengs also frequented the fan cafe because, you know, they posted about BTS obsessively. And actually, to join the fan cafe, you had to pass a bunch of tests, in Korean, I might add, to be a member of this fan cafe. So you had to pass a bunch of tests to be in the fan cafe. But Big Hit also made official announcements in the fan cafe, and BTS members also posted in the fan cafe, sometimes drunk, really funny messages. And Big Hit posted a message saying, there has been stalkers outside our dorms recently, so you know, please don't do this. Like serious actions will be taken if you guys continue to do this. And if I remember correctly, there were pictures posted of like people waiting outside late at night, 2 a.m. and then it was raining, and I remember somebody with like a yellow umbrella or something like that. So Big Hit had pictures of the stalkers and things like that. But by the end of 2016, they had moved not to their current dorm at Hannam, the hill. They moved to somewhere else in between. They moved to Hannam in end of 2017. So they lived somewhere else for a year, which is a very short time. But I do assume that this could largely have been due to the stalkers outside of the BTS dorms. So, you know, that's one of the things. And I mean, I was really not surprised when the news of the stalkers came out, but I was surprised that, you know, nobody was monitoring the building. And how do I know this is their dorm, their building? Because there was another video. Was it like the first Bon Voyage video, I went to check this because I remember seeing this building in the picture that I just showed you in one of their videos. It could have been like a music show video or something, like where they're doing behind the scenes and they're leaving their dorm building. It could have been that, or it could have been Bon Voyage, but I checked the Bon Voyage season 1 yesterday just to be accurate when I'm telling you the tea. It wasn't there, or it wasn't there anymore, because I remember the scene back in 2016. I think I saw Taeyeon getting into a van, and in the background you could see the building, and it was this building that was in the picture. And so I concluded that that's their dorms. So yes. Yeah, I couldn't find the video that I actually saw it, or it could be that it was edited out, but that is how Namjoon accidentally revealed where their dorms were in 2016. So like he is pretty famous for accidentally revealing things all the time, but other members do it too. Like I think last year Taeyong in a live accidentally revealed their hotel name. But nowadays, thank goodness, with ever since we had COVID. No, I mean not thank goodness for that, but thank goodness for the situation of them not having to deal with as many Sasaengs nowadays because of all the restrictions and the lockdown and things like that. So yes. Oh, I am so self-conscious with my eyebrows. Sorry. I woke up pretty late and I didn't have time to do that. I didn't have time to do anything. I just smacked on some like eyeliner and like lip gloss, and I'm like, I'm here. I woke up half an hour ago. Okay. Anyway. So, okay, I have covered the Namjoon topic. What do you guys think so far? Like, nobody's talking. Like, tell me what your thoughts are so far after hearing this story in 2016. I'm sure you guys were around in 2016. It wasn't that long ago. 6 years. Or maybe you're a new fan. I don't know. But it's good to know all this history. And Sasaeng activities were reported as recently as 2019. So 2019 there were a few cases as well, and it was quite extreme. I think 2019 had it might not have been the worst cases, but these were the cases like that were reported the most in 2019. And it got so bad that Taeyeon came on V Live to talk about it. And let me show you what the live was. I have a little video. I'm sure you know the video that I'm talking about. So he was talking about this particular video. But anyway, so you can view this. This is from a 2019 V Live. Oh wow! Hi Janet. Oh hi guys. Welcome to the video. You're a bit late if you have missed the entire Namjoon story about how Namjoon accidentally revealed the location of their dorms. It was never addressed that he revealed it because he probably didn't realize it at all. His habit is to just pose in front of buildings. So I guess he, and probably, as a Korean, you just don't notice all the normal Korean things that you take for granted every day. You just see, you don't even care that the numbers are on the buildings and the address is right there next to the entrance of the building. But for a person who, and also because he gets driven around, so he doesn't really care about like addresses and whatever. He just follows a manager. But like for for like, let's say those of us, or like me, foreigners who go to Korea and we have to find buildings and stuff, we realize and we rely on the addresses that are next to the building. I'm going to show you again the picture for those of you who just arrived. The picture that I was talking about. So again, it's this picture, this particular picture from 2016. You can look for it. I wish I could get my camera to like focus. I don't know how to do it. And oh my god, Cyber! It literally says in the title, this is Army Tea Time, and we're talking about something. So, okay, here again. On buildings, you can see addresses. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so that was the Namjoon story, and I think Namjoon moving to a well-protected building really, I guess, makes a difference, because even if he posts like exactly his house door or something, then maybe the security downstairs might be able to protect him and not let armies in or whatever. So you never know. Some buildings are well protected. Some buildings are actually not that well protected. I have a video on this channel where I tried to visit the previous Big Hit building to show people how to get there. And I specifically warned people, like, don't be hanging out outside the building, but you can come see the building and just take pictures of the building, because there's nothing wrong with that, but just don't be hanging around outside. And I went to the next door building to have a side view of the new the previous Big Hit building. And so when the guard caught me, I was like, fuck, the guard caught me. But then he was like, so what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm taking a video, I'm taking pictures. And he was like, oh. And then he led me to another like spot location, and he was like, take it from here, it looks better. Wow, that's not much security at all. It's in the video. I have it on video, so you can see that. It's in my playlist, How to Get to the Big Hit Building. So you can see that particular video. So sometimes security is not that good. So even though there is security at the Namjoon's new apartment, I really think he should stop posting like views from his apartment. Yes, it's on Instagram. Yes, it disappears after 24 hours, but screenshotting exists, and he should just like be more careful. Not a single other member has posted views from their apartment. In fact, they show very little of their apartment. Showing inside is fine, like views of your living room and TV and whatever. So Namjoon should be more careful. And we're gonna get back to 2019, where Taeyong came on V Live and talked about, quite seriously, he talked about Sasaeng fans who buy the same flights that they do and buy the same like sections that they are. Now they have like a private jet and everything. So do you see how the like Sasaengs have driven them to do so many things? The end of 2016, they moved, I guess largely due to Sasaengs, because the next apartment they only lived in for a year. So it could have been that they moved due to Sasaeng activity, and then afterwards they also started traveling on private planes, private jets, because I guess Sasaeng fans kept buying the same flights and trying to sit with them, or like taking pictures of them, while on flight. On Twitter, I searched this last night, and you have to search in Korean to be able to find it. But on Twitter, there used to be people who offer to sell BTS information. And unfortunately, sometimes this information is correct, because in 2000, I think it was in 2019 also, where Jungkook did a live And it was the live where he drank an entire bottle of wine. I'm sure you know the one that I'm talking about. He drank an entire bottle of wine, and he got a phone call in the middle of his live. He looked at it, and then he shut it off straight away. And he actually said it out loud. He said, "A fan called me." And he said, "Sometimes fans call me." He was still so polite to say fans. I would have just said, "Sometimes these mentally ill people call me," or "Sometimes these like insane people call me," or "fucked up people call me." But he said, "Sometimes fans call me," and I just blocked their number straight away. Fans also send him text messages, so their information has been sold a lot. And this is not just like anything new. It's been going on for years. Absolutely, like years. Even Yuki has talked about it. He said, "Sometimes strange people send me messages," and they're so polite about it because that is their culture, right? Anytime you're appearing publicly, you have to have like a certain level of like politeness and culture. And anyway, you're a celebrity, a public figure, so they have to maintain their image. People can be rude to them, but they have to, they can't be rude. But I find like the best people to respond to these things are actually like Taeyong, because Taeyong really talks about it. He lets his mind be known. Like whenever something bad happens, he just like straight up just says how it is. Like people are crazy, or people are so rude, and he says things directly like that. But other members are more polite about it. Although I feel like they shouldn't be, and they shouldn't have to be. So what else was I talking about? What was I talking about? Oh, the flight thing. Your thoughts, the drama on the flight to US for the PTD Con and Jimin C. I don't know that drama. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry because like I didn't keep up with any of the news about their PTD concert until you know, I mean, you're on my Instagram, you know, I was going through a very difficult emotional and mental state at the time close to their concert. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, what was I talking about? So Tim went on V Live to talk about the serious situation, and then there was this girl. She was fake. She got famous in 2019. Infamous, being famous for something bad. I don't know if you guys know about her. She's called. Oh, you found the V Live? Yeah. So I fact check everything. Everything I say is accurate because I check and check. I was up until 4:00 yesterday. Well, I started at like 3:00. I spent a lot of time, about an hour and a half, 2 hours last night, just looking up all this information to make sure that I can tell it to you accurately. And in case you want to look it up afterwards for yourself, this information exists online. Like you can easily Google it. So yes, and this bothers me a lot, so I'm still gonna say it again. Next live, I will wake up early and do my fucking eyebrows. But okay, anyway, yeah. What was I gonna talk about? This girl. Yeah, exactly, Janet. You know it. This girl called No Pants Girl. Everybody knows about her because she was the most famous Sasaeng person in 2019. There was another girl that tried to another girl who did something really bad, but there was a video that was misleading, and they used the No Pants Girl, her picture, while the caption said, "This Sasaeng fan tried to kiss Yoongi," but it wasn't her. The No Pants Girl is a Jungkook Sasaeng. So, but there was another girl that I think it was a music show because there were fans gathered outside the building at a safe distance, at a respectful distance, just to see like BTS or wave at them. So there were Korean fans waiting outside the building, and when they were coming outside. There was this girl who ran. She ran. There's a video of this. She ran and she grabbed Yoongi and tried to kiss him. And like, I was so shocked when I saw this because I was like, what the fuck? And then she got caught by security. Yoongi managed to push her away. Well, I don't know whether, because you can't see. The video doesn't show you clearly what happened because it's Yoongi's being blocked by the girl, so you don't know whether she actually kissed him or not. So, but you do get to see the girl being pushed away, security coming up to grab her and drag her away. And I have a picture of after when security was walking her out. She's smiling. She's like, she's psychotic. Where is this picture? I'm gonna show you. But anyway, I mean, how desperate do you have to be? Like, why do you want to kiss someone by force? Isn't that the same as like people who do sexual harassment? Anytime you want to take something by force, that's just absolutely pathetic, Yeah, not just sexual harassment. A person who has that mindset where you think it's okay to take something sexual by force, that's the mindset of like rapists and stuff. So, okay, I found the picture. Oh, it zoomed in by itself. That's great. It's not a HD picture, as you can see. Okay, but this is the car that Yoongi was getting into. And so fans, like, so obviously this person that took her picture was like a fan that was standing at a respectful distance, right? And this girl ran all that way to try and grab him and kiss him. Like, she probably was just like tense and ready and waiting for the moment. And this is the security guard. You can see he's holding her, like shoving her away, and I don't know if you can see it. Pretty sure you can see it. She's smiling. Can you see her fucking mouth? She's happy. She's not sad at all. This is a smiling face. Insane. Insane. Fucking insane. Like, there's so many different levels of stalking. Oh. The blurriness. Anyway, there's so many different levels of stalking, right? And just obsessively taking pictures of them is one thing. I would say if you run into them or you spot them outside and you take a picture from afar, that's definitely not stalking. That's sheer luck. Like, lucky you. If you manage to interact with them respectfully. Like, let's say they were walking on the street and you're like, oh my god, it's Namjoon. And then you sort of cautiously approach them. They see you coming, they kind of look at you, they don't run away or turn around or whatever, then okay, approach them even more cautiously and be like, hi, I'm a huge fan. Can I shake your hand? Can I maybe take a picture, or will you sign this? They usually won't let you take a picture with them or sign anything. Now, those are the new rules, apparently. But yes, approach cautiously, see what they do. If they seem welcoming, then go ahead. But if not, then just back off and just maybe wave from afar. I would say that's respectful. That's not stalking. But buying the information, that's the thing. Yeah, I saw that people were on Twitter, and there was even this. People were even doing it in English. There were at the time, at the height of this, like selling information thing, because it's been happening for years. People pay thousands for the information, like for flight um, prices. Oh, I wrote this down. Flight price information, like flight information prices, range from anywhere between $300 to $500, and Sasaengs fans actually buy this information to be able to buy the same flight as them. Well, back in the day when they didn't travel on private planes. So sometimes they say, oh, we bought flights and we accidentally ended up on the same flight as them, I maybe 10% of the time that happened that might be true, but otherwise I don't think so, because on Korean Twitter the information is really, I saw quite a number of people selling this information. Where did they get this information? There must be a leak from somewhere. And that's the thing, because the leak could be anywhere from people who work within their company, like, not the main staff, but like the assistants or the people who have like much lower positions. This boils down to such a big picture thing, like, in Korea, a lot of the culture is overworking people, for the amount that they are paid. And it could be that this is the reason why people see an opportunity to make fast money, good money. Um, yeah, like if I'm an assistant of an assistant, I don't care about BTS, right? I'm here for my job and they don't treat me very well, then I sell the information without a thought, because it's all about Mimi and probably they're angry and things like that. So it could just be a lot of different causes. And but one case I did hear that they admitted it was a staff, airline staff, who sold the information, and that person was fired. So yeah, back then, all this like juicy news on Twitter. And I do remember a lot of the news and reading a lot of it, because you guys know, back then I used to be a translator from 2015 to 2018. So I had to translate a lot of the news. So I remember this very clearly, and reading about all of this news. And like the thing is, if nobody translated it back then, if nobody translated it, you wouldn't hear about it, because it was basically so in such a like a Korean environment, all of this was happening. Yeah, I mean, of course, it wasn't like they were uh they weren't super super big, like their popularity hadn't exploded yet around 2016, 17, 18. So yeah, all of this stuff was like, yeah, I've never heard of their information being sold to non Koreans. The fan sites and the Sasaeng fans, they are not all Korean. A lot of them are actually Chinese. Like they just look like they're Korean, because a lot of Chinese people and Korean people, they kind of look similar sometimes. So I need you to be aware. Like Carrot Nuna, which is the no pants girl, she's not Korean. She is not Korean. She's from like a Chinese speaking country. I can't say China, because there are other Chinese speaking countries. There's Taiwan, there's Hong Kong, Macau, stuff like that. So I didn't know for sure which country she's from, but Carrot Nuna, was aka the no pants girl that you guys know about. Yeah, she's not Korean. 100% not Korean. Okay, so a lot of the insane fan sites, they are Vietnamese. Vietnamese from a Chinese speaking country. I can't say China. Uh, and Korean. So there's a whole good mix going on there. They live in Korea. So people just assume that they're Korean, because they live there and they also have all this fucking time to like be chasing BTS around. So yeah, just be aware that not all the stalkers are Korean. So we can't just like always say like, oh, Korean armies, they're the best, but they're also the worst. No, it's a good mix. A lot of fan sites, especially all the big fan sites that you see that sponsor, all these giant like videos of BTS in like New York's Times Square and stuff like that. They are fans from China. There's a huge Chinese fan base, which I feel really sorry for, because BTS never go to China. But there's a huge Chinese base, and whenever BTS has a concert, they all come to Korea because they're rich, right? So not that rich, because they also take a lot of donations from armies and stuff. Okay, well, let's get back to the Sasaeng fan. Okay, so the Yuki incident, the crazy girl that tried to kiss him, was in 2017. In 2019, Big Hit posted an entire list of blacklisted fan sites, and because of fan sites that obsessively seem to follow them around. And how did Big Hit know? Because they had their own research team, because they scoured Twitter for, because all these fan sites, they take pictures to post, right? And then they make money off of that. So they Big Hit had their own research team that went to look for the accounts that posted pictures of BTS where, in places where they're not supposed to know that BTS was there. So uh so they found out who those people were, and they put them on a blacklist. At PCDLA, I was near several fan sites. Okay, but fan sites do not mistake fan sites for Sasaengs. Let's be very clear on this, and don't necessarily have the angry emoji either. Some fan sites are good. Some fan sites are very nice. I think the whole fan site thing was blown out of proportion, especially towards Americans, because Americans, for some reason, get a lot angry at everything, and and blew this thing out of proportion. Okay, let me explain to you why fan sites are a necessity in the K-pop culture, and why there are fan sites that BTS love. Because the same people that go to fan sites, like fan signs, like, the people who kneel in front of the desk and they get to talk to BTS and hold BTS's hands and all that and get them to sign something, a lot of them are fan sites. And BTS are aware that they exist. They're nice. There's a very famous video um, of where at an awards show, Jimin was sitting next to Hoseok, and he spotted Hoseok's fan site admin, and he realized he was blocking the view of Hoseok, so he tapped on Hoseok, and then he leaned back, and then he was like, "Hey, your fan site's over there." So then Hoseok leaned forward and looked at the fan site, and so that fan site got the photos because Jimin was kind enough to move back, not backwards, and to allow that picture to be taken. So the thing about fan sites, they are a necessity in the K-pop world, because they provide all these beautiful pictures that act as promotion, especially for new groups and stuff. Like, do you ever see the company posting amazing shots of them during the concert, looking amazing and godlike and statuesque and stuff like that? No, that's the job of fan sites. And basically, it's an unspoken agreement between respectful fan sites and the entertainment companies. It's an unspoken agreement that we let you post these pictures. We don't sue you. We let you earn a little bit of money if you make your own merch. We don't sue you, just as long as you keep posting pictures, but don't cross the line to be stalkers and be in places where you're not supposed to be. So that's the thing. But if you cross the line, then that agreement is broken and that agreement is over. So that's the thing. So okay, they didn't cheer or dance over army bombs. Okay, no masks on. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, I mean, but you don't know if they were fan sites or not. Like, you don't know for sure, I guess. I'm not trying to defend fan sites. I'm just saying, like, don't immediately assume somebody is a fan site. Like, just be angry at them for what they did, but let's not spread unnecessary, ill, um, just malicious things about fan sites, because there are a lot of very, very nice fan sites. In the beginning, they were the people that provided BTS with things that they didn't have. Because remember, BTS were very poor from the start, and they had money issues, and they were not rich, and they were not famous, but they had very nice fan sites who, gave them branded goods, gave them Rolexes, iPhones, and things like that from their own money, or money they earned from merch. They made the merch, they earned the money, and they bought gifts for BTS, and they gave those back. So it was a cycle. And I find that those sites are very, very nice. They supported BTS in the very early days when they needed them most. So people tend to only spread the bad things. They don't really look at the good things and how important fan sites were. But I mean, this live was supposed to be about Sasaengs, but I just need you to understand the importance of existence of fan sites. If you go back to very early days, yeah, the fan sites, like, they send like giant, like hundreds of beautifully wrapped gifts, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. All the gifts had the same wrapping and the same color. Clearly they gave them to a professional, to be wrapped, and then they were delivered to the Big Hit building and arranged outside the Big Hit building, where they took a photo for acknowledgement. And BTS had several videos where they acknowledged the gifts that they were given, by deliberately showing them in a video or deliberately wearing them. So they're aware that these fan sites supported them when they were in need, and they love their fan sites. I was at a concert, and it wasn't a very big concert at the time. This was in 2015, 16, 2016, I think. Yeah. It was a concert in Malaysia. It wasn't a very big concert, so it was just like a big hall kind of thing. And several seats in front of me, there was a J-Hope fan site. And when he saw her, like, his face lit up, like, oh my god, I recognize you. And then he pointed at her. So he acknowledged her, even in a concert. And imagine, as a fan site, like, to be acknowledged by the band that you love, that's like successful. In Korean, it's called 성덕. 성덕 stands for 성공한 덕후, which means a successful fan. So the 덕후 is, the Japanese word is otaku, so it's like a similar word. It means like a very passionate fan. So 성공한 means successful. So a successful fan is when you've been acknowledged by the band or the people that you are a fan of. So yeah, imagine that. They really acknowledge fan sites. So make sure you guys are aware of the difference between fan sites and Sasaengs. They are not the same. Absolutely not the same. It's always the bad people that get the headline, like headliner, and give fan sites a bad rep. But yeah, so make sure you guys are aware. If you attend my lives and you hear these things, then you have been informed and been made aware, so that you go forth as more like informed armies, and so you know how to react or to not react, in interactions with other armies that are very ignorant on Twitter. The louder the armies are, usually, the more ignorant they are. Okay, so let's get back to the Sasaeng topic. We have 15 minutes. This live should be only an hour long. But we have so much to talk about, and I can't wait to do, next week's live with you. This is going to be a weekly series. every Sunday at this time, and plenty of other army focused or fan focused stories to talk about. Now, there is another instant. Oh yeah, let's talk about Headliner. Headliner is this insane Jungkook fan site that was super entitled. News about her also came out like very strongly in 2019. 2019 was just this like absolutely insane year. So many good things happened, but also so many Sasaeng fans were revealed, and I think it was largely due to the fact that like 2019 BTS schedule was like packed throughout the year, and like yeah, in 2009 I've never done so many BTS things in my life as like I did in 2019, because I remember going to a Singapore concert, a Thailand concert, the Busan Magic Shop concert, and then there was a Speak Yourself final, and in between they had other concerts which I didn't manage to go to. So like in 2019 alone it was like insane, so many concerts, and they traveled so much, but it was because of so much activity that so much like Sasaeng activity was revealed as well, because the more they traveled, you know, um it was clear like who was going and who wasn't, like people who were there everywhere all the time. So Headliners is entitled, absolutely entitled, see you next Tuesday person. um she At first when I read the conversations that she had, so these conversations were posted because they were in a group chat, and these conversations were posted on Twitter to expose her, because there's a difference between talking about someone badly and talking about someone affectionately using insults. If I see something like, okay, so you guys know my bias is Namjoon, and if I see him doing something like dumb, I'll be like, oh my god, Namjoon, this dumbass, and and it's affectionate, you know. But so when I saw that, when I saw the group chat that people posted, I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, because she said, like, you know, this like son of a bitch. Oh, you know, now that I think about it, no, I shouldn't even have tried to give people the benefit of the doubt. I usually do that, like, that's my nature. Like, I give you one chance. But now that I really think about it, those words, I guess they're not affectionate. They could not be mistaken as affectionate, because they were like serious insults. Um, she was the type of fan site that when she gives Jungkook a gift, she expects it to be acknowledged, and that's just not the culture. I mean, that's just not like gift giving. When you give someone a gift, you hope they're happy, you hope they like it, and you hope they say something to you about it, and like sort of feedback, because you know, so you know how they reacted. But you don't expect it. You know, you don't get angry that when you give someone a gift, like, and then you get pissed at them, like, why didn't you tell me how you reacted? Do you even like it? Like, you know, and you expect them to appreciate it. That's kind of fucked up. You give a gift usually with the hopes that it's going to be appreciated and the hopes that they like it. But she called Jungkook a lot of names for not acknowledging. Remember I said how sometimes BTS acknowledges the gifts that are given to them in fan sites by making it obvious in videos like Bangtan Bombs and things like that. They deliberately wear things that fan sites give to them. Or they talk about it. They say, oh, I received this recently as a gift. Yeah, a gift from a fan site. But Jungkook didn't do that. Number one, he doesn't like to go on social media a lot. And I mean, so if you're a Jungkook fan site, then that's what you have to fucking deal with, okay? Like, if you love him, then you should understand what he's like. He's just not like, oh, I got this from a like as a gift, and this I did this with it, blah blah blah. He's just not that type of person. So you have to accept that. I mean, you love the person, you claim to love the person, and like, how can you say such things about him? And I think at one point she said she wishes he was dead or something. This one I can't verify. I can't remember for sure. I just know she said some really like shocking things, like insanely shocking. Yeah, exactly. He's not an attention seeker. A lot of the time he does shy away from attention. And if you've if you've been following BTS a long time, you don't even have to. You just have to know, like, look at all their previous videos. He's a shy boy. You know, he is just not a shower. You know, she's starting to hit him. Yeah, I think so. She just said really like insanely bad things and called him all sorts of names. And she, like, there were things that sounded like threats also. And she was like, if he doesn't do this next time. And it was crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So I think this is a fan site that she did things for her own ego and not out of love for BTS. Like, she did give him gifts, but with the wrong intentions. So that was like really horrible. At first, I didn't know the tea, right, about Headliner, because I was like, oh, her pictures are so great and her events are pretty good. I've been to a couple of her events, and like, because again, a person, um like, we don't usually tend to think the worst of somebody. I'm like, oh, she has such great events for Jungkook. How could she be a bad person? And so that was how I thought. Like, I was mistaken about that, but like, that was how I thought. So, um, when the news about her came out, I remember saying things like, let's take let's take a step back and like really try to look at things before we accuse her really badly. But that's what I would do for anyone. See, that's the thing. I always like say, because I've encountered so many people who don't do their research based on personal experience. I've encountered so many people who don't do their research and they just like spout rumors and all that. So usually I don't believe things straight away. I have to do my own research. I have to do a lot of reading and I have to wait a while before I before before I believe something, just because of my own previous experience where people, wasn't she like 40 years old? I don't think age should be a factor into this. Like, are you against people who are older? Like, I'm not exactly the youngest fan either, so, but I'm still a fan, and it doesn't, it shouldn't be a thing. Like, whatever bad things you do at any age, they're still bad things. So nobody should say things like she should be old enough to know, that it's wrong, or she should act her age. Like, actually, by teenage years, you should be old enough to know what is wrong. So it doesn't matter that she's 40. So yeah, I'm getting much older. I mean, I'm not 40, but I'm getting much older, and I know that I wouldn't want people to talk about age like that. As a fan, you can be fans at any age. I've got this person on my Instagram. She's like 61 or 63, and she's been a BTS fan for like so fucking long. Like, I think she's been following me since 2015. So yeah, really, she's amazing. She's a grandma, and she says she gets into BTS with her granddaughter, and I think that's amazing. So yeah, age has nothing to do with it, Martina. Let's just call out the wrong actions and not like bring in anybody's you know, personal particulars. So yeah, see, Martina offending all the over 30s in the chat. Doesn't matter what your age is. Music transcends any age. BTS has said this. Okay, so this age is not an issue at all. Your actions are an issue. Your actions or your non-actions are an issue. So okay. Have I covered everything that I was supposed to talk about? Look at me. I wrote a lot of stuff. Okay. So there was another instant where, let's see if I downloaded this. There was another instant where in 2015, okay, this was in 2015, I remember. Or was it 2016? 2015. Shit, I shouldn't have shown this thing. Now it's like blurry. Whatever. In 2015, when BTS held a little mini showcase in New York, there was an insane person who threatened to bring a gun to the show. And in the middle of the concert, in the middle or towards the end, the concert was never finished. And everybody had to get out. Everybody had to leave because of like crazy people who threatened that. But I don't think that is Sasaeng behavior. I think that's just crazy behavior. For Sasaeng behavior, there was another incident. A lot of incidents happen at airport. Oh, Briniest, I remember that. Oh, Larissa. Briniest, I saw what you wrote. That's crazy, right? Yeah, it's crazy. And see, Larissa remembers that. It was insane. If you've been in army from the beginning, then you would have known all of this. Like, it was really insane at the beginning. There were so many crazy things that happened. Even when they weren't all that famous yet. So it was super insane. Like a lot of gun threats, and like Namjoon received a lot of threats. Jimin received a lot of threats for some reason. I don't know why. Like he's like a tiny angel. He does nothing. Why would he get threats? I don't understand. So at some point, for some reason, there were a lot of threats or hate against Jimin. And in 2016 or 17, I'm sorry I don't have this correctly, but in 2016 or 17, there were a lot of threats going on with like Jimin, towards Jimin, and BTS got to know about it. So they became very protective of him. There's this very popular video of them arriving at an airport, not the Korean airport, but a foreign airport. And when they got to a place where they were all supposed to stand and gather, that's the one. And Yuki pulled Jimin to like go behind me. And I was like, oh, Yuki, protective, like heroic, like wow. And yeah, I mean that was fuel for a lot of Yunmin ship fanfics. But yeah, see, you guys know that video, you're aware of that video. So yeah, 2016, 2017, like threats for some reason and protecting Jimin. That was the most famous one, but I have seen other videos also where other members try to pull Jimin like towards them or just be close to them, and it's always like protecting Jimin because he's the tiniest. And yeah, there are other videos that are as shocking, like for example when a disrespectful fan, not necessarily something, but a disrespectful fan, like at an airport where they're walking, like they shove a phone like so close to their face, and so Taeyong took out his phone and started filming that person too. So I was like, yeah, amazing. Damn, amazing. So that's see the things that BTS had to do. This morning I was trying to, like, was it this morning, last night I was trying to do more research, and I saw that I saw a video, and I was tearing up last night because I was like, no, he shouldn't have to do this. There was a fan who started screaming and like running towards him, and you could see the fear on his fucking face, and like also you could see the fear on his face because there was someone else that was filming him that close. So some crazy person filming him that close, another crazy person running towards Taeyong, and like the manager was like, okay, we gotta be faster. They walked faster, and then they had to eventually break into a run to get into a van. and I was like almost in tears. I was like, why does he have to do this? It's so crazy. You know, if you love them, you don't want them to go through that. How could you? How could they? How could this be? These people, they're like fucking insane. Oh, yeah, it made me so mad. So, yeah. Okay, so we could go on and on and on about this, but let's leave some things for the next live. I will be back every week at this time, and we are not done talking about Sasaengs and fan sites. There are awful fan sites that are doing things not only to BTS but to armies as well, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the biggest scammer armies in the history of army in army history ever. These big, like super big scammers that actually made the news. I saw news, I think last year or the year before last. It made local news. This girl who was scamming, and like police were investigating and things like that. So there was a local. I think there was a local girl that was scamming armies here, and there's other fan sites as well, but I'm gonna leave that as a mystery. We're gonna talk about that next next live. So what did you guys think of the first live where this first Army Tea Time live? It's gonna be a regular weekly live. I'm gonna definitely try to keep up. So yeah, are you guys gonna be here next week? I really hope so. It was fun. I'm gonna do my eyebrows this week. Wake up a lot earlier. Yeah, I have personal stories of like nasty armies that I've met, like super entitled little bitches over the years that I've met that are insane. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about that too, like personal stories. So if you've got personal stories that you also want me to talk about, you can send them to me. You can get me on Twitter, or you can get me, if you're already on my Instagram, then you can send me DMs on Instagram of nasty armies that you've met over the years. But our lives will be centered, our lives, my weekend lives will be centered on like better known armies or fan sites or Sasaengs. So yeah, today they made a bad rumor about Jungkook and a girl tattoo. Okay, yeah, the rumor thing is pretty strong, but we're gonna talk about that another day. Lots to talk about, but we've done an hour now, and I have to go. So I'm really happy that you guys showed up. I really thought no one was gonna come, so I'm so happy that you guys are here, and we're gonna make this a weekly thing. And if you don't catch the weekly, don't. There's gonna be a replay of it. So today the tea was hot, and next week the tea was hot too. And one of the upcoming weeks there's going to be ice cold tea where we talk about really nice armies to, to balance it out. We can't always hear bad things. There's a lot of really great, wonderful armies that we can, and I'm excited for that as well. So yes. Thanks for joining me today, guys. It was so fun talking about it. I had a lot of fun researching and writing notes and having a very organized live. I will see you next Sunday. Bye. Oh, let me take a screenshot before I go. Brainiest, you're gonna watch videos of the things to talk about. Yes, please do. Just Google them. Okay. Bye.